Welcome, Solarah here. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm just going to get into a straight reading. I've been receiving a lot of downloads, and it feels like download overload, and so I want to start to make sense of some of these energies. Of course, we are smack in the middle of an eclipse portal. We are smack in the middle of Scorpio season. There is a lot of chaotic energy flying. We're coming up to a full moon, so it's like real like chaotic, murky, confusing energy flying, and then on top of it you've got these fuckers that try to use this energy against us. So I want to get into it, but the theme of this reading and what I probably want to explore is that there is somebody that is wanting you to there's somebody who's wanting you to reclaim an aspect of your wounded shadow. I hope I'm saying this the right way. It's like there's somebody who's wanting you to come back into agreement with a part of your shadow that you had repressed and that had kept you at odds with self, that had kept you in a state of shame, had kept you ashamed of that aspect of yourself. It's like they want you to reject that part of yourself again in shame. And I'm getting very strong mother energy here. I'm getting very strong like someone, and it could be, mother, it could be father, but this feels very distorted feminine, whether it's coming through a man or a woman, or it could be a sibling. This is somebody, again, who had a very intimate seat in the cultivation of your emotional experiences as a child and your programming. Okay, and again, I'm getting this energy of someone who is connected to one of these orders, GOVT projects, where they've had a vested interest this whole time in keeping you in low emotional states so you don't climb and access your divine codes and resources because of what that means for the world and the shifts that brings in for you personally, but also what it brings in for this ascension. And before I get into the cards, I do want to say that Scorpio season and Taurus season are always going to be times where the attacks will be against you activating your codes and accessing your spiritual gifts and higher awareness of who you are, because they are connected with your energy field. Your Taurus energy is your biofield. It's everything that you have, that you brought with you here in order to thrive, not survive, but thrive. And it's everything that makes it possible for you to be who you are as an infinite multidimensional being. It's what allows you to travel dimensionally. It's what allows your light body to come online. It's all of that is part of your energy field. And the whole war, all of the wars on this earth have been about the fight for resources, right? The fight for resources. It's really what it comes down to. All of these veiled, reasons for people being at odds with one another. It's all bullshit. It's all about controlling the resources of the earth. But you are a reflection of the earth. And so if they're trying to control the resources of the earth, don't you think they're trying to control your personal resources too? The whole fight has been, that has kept the matrix alive, has been to keep us from the fullness of our resources personally and also on the earth plane. And this is expressed very well through the Taurus-Scorpio axis, and it's why we've been dealing with so much of this awakening to this through Taurus and Scorpio when they were in the North and South node positions. And it's why also through this eclipse window, a lot of stuff that has to do with that is wrapping up. Okay? I'm just going to get into the cards because I don't want to go down on a tangent, because I really can. Y'all know I can, right? Make sure you're doing all of your, your requisite clearing, cleansing, protecting, grounding work at this time. Sacred bath, smoke cleansing, egg cleansing, clearing your the energy of your home, securing your dream state, because the shit I've been seeing, is just like, it's baffling. It's baffling. Like, I don't even know where to start with some of this stuff. That's why I'm just like, you come and tell them through the cards, because I don't know. I don't want to go through all of these downloads right now. That is just so, it can be so emotionally taxing also. Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. 4-1, someone's trying to control the rate at which you grow. Okay, and what I was feeling before is like, and I'm getting that from the Emperor and the Magician. Someone's trying to control the rate at which you grow, the rate at which you connect with your own divine resources, the rate at which you connect with your divine abilities and your gifts. Someone's trying to, something, a group, whoever is trying to control that, especially through this eclipse window. And it's almost like they know that they cannot stop you at this point, but they will do everything they can to try to slow the process down. Because what I was feeling very much is that, especially if this is for you, and before I even turn this other card around, let me tell you how you might know this reading is for you. Have you been in the past couple of weeks, especially in this eclipse window, but even going back as far as the equinox at the end of September, have you been experiencing energies that have been causing you to question the validity of what it is that has been your experience, that spirit has been walking you through over the past couple of months or years? In other words, have you been questioning and doubting all of these karmic energies? Have you been losing faith because you haven't been seeing things materially, but you've been feeling like something's coming? Have you been struggling with bouts of, imposter syndrome? Have you been constantly feeling like, have you been going back into these energies of of shame? Have you been going back and forth and not really getting why? Because of all of the work you've done, or because you know that's not your energy, but feeling a little bit overwhelmed by it, having to constantly clear it and all of that, then this might be for you. Okay, because it feels very much like, and this is the thing, eclipse windows are here to put you farther into your into divine alignment. It's here to, and through this Taurus Scorpio axis, it's here to skyrocket you into your divine awareness of your spiritual gifts. It's here to help you connect with the supernatural aspects of self that they've been trying to hide. It's here to connect you with the very things that a lot of these families have sold you out in order for you not to connect with. That's what this eclipse window is wanting to do. It's wanting to clear out those energies that have kept you out. And here they are, still trying to hold on, still trying to grasp. But they're doing it a lot of the time. You might be feeling it subtly, but it's not anywhere near what you're feeling. Is annoying, but you're feeling it because that is the intensity of what is being thrown at you. When I tell you right now, on an energetic level, in terms of the energies that are being thrown towards chosen ones, targeted individuals, etc., in order to try to slow us down, because that's really all they can do for many of us at this point. It's crazy. The things I've seen, legitimately, I haven't seen stuff like this even in movies. And yeah, granted, I don't watch many movies. It's true. Like, I'm not. But the things I've been seeing, it's fucking blowing my mind, And but what I'm also noticing is that they're finding it very hard to access a lot of you, a lot of you, like get into your fields. And so a lot of the chaos they're trying to bring is outside. But although it might be outside, the annoyances are designed to get you. It's always designed to get us to fall into states of, of fear or of anxiety or anger or anything that kind of like ruffles our feathers. There's a lot of energy right now that just feels like it's there to ruffle feathers, to like cause petty annoyances that build up until they become something bigger. Something here breaks, something there breaks. And, like in all frankness, you've got to kind of laugh at it because it's nothing compared to what it is they actually want. Like imagine being this being who has been, casting spells against us all this time and it working, and casting like one of their ultimate death spells and having it like break your broom instead of doing, like, you get what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that. But yeah, like minor annoyances that are here, and this is, of course, these things are always multi-layered. So that's just one aspect of what is happening right now. It's so much deeper than that. There's a whole onslaught of shit being thrown at us. But that definitely is one of the things that I'm noticing, like petty annoyances, in order to already add to the energies that they're wanting to use to pull you into states of confusion and a lot of like emotional fuckery, a lot of dream energies right now, for better and for worse. The ability for you to connect deeply with your dreams and get answers, but also, fuckery there also. So make sure you're protecting yourself in your dream state too, because it's a powerful time to connect with your dreams. It's a powerful time through that connection of dreams for this shit to be exposed, because I'm telling you, a lot of this shit has been being shown to me in dream time. What actually came out? Shallow grave. You miss someone. 2-9, 29, 11. High priestess, hermit energy. What I got instantly from this card, shallow grave, is somebody misses their ability to rock you. Somebody misses their ability to be able to get into your fields and rock you. This could also be for some of you, there's a lot of also like sympathy spells that have been being cast over the past couple of weeks in order, and this is all part of the switching your reality to make you think that what it is that you've been being shown isn't that anymore. Like I said, all of these energies work on layers. So there's many things they do in order to create layers of illusions in order to suck you in and make you think that that's what's real versus what it is that you've been shown and what you're intuitively being guided through. So maybe this is also the energy of somebody projecting something to make you want to miss them also. And that don't make any sense to you either, because it's just like, well, why would I miss you when why all of a sudden, out of nowhere, am I having these feelings of longing towards this person? Especially for those of you who have walked away from whoever it is that might be popping up all of a sudden. Ooh, fuck you. It's my voice. Whoever might be like showing up in your, it's not even in your mind. It's like, this is about trying to reconnect to your emotions. This is about like emotional retraining. That's really what I'm feeling here. Emotional retraining. If somebody all of a sudden who you had to let go of, especially because they were no longer on the same path as you, or they hurt you, or they were an abuser or a watcher or an op, and all of a sudden you start having these like going down memory lane kind of thing, be aware that this is also possibly an illusion. The Scorpio energy is beautiful for doing many things for us. So in its strength, it is here to help us to take what it is that we don't want anymore and to put it to death. It's here for us to connect with the what we would call the basest parts of our shadow that you know, the Matrix has tried its best to disconnect us from by trying to shame us and get us to reject that part of ourselves. The Scorpio energy is there to take us to that place and to push us into finding the beauty in that part of ourselves that for many of us, many beings have tried to make us feel is not lovable or redeemable. The Scorpio energy compels us to go in and to redeem that part of self back for self. And it's through the redemption of that part, of the deepest parts of self that you've rejected. And not only in this lifetime, it could be over several timelines, because a lot of narratives were coming up about persecution timelines. Like timelines where you may have died because of your powers. Timelines where you may have misused your powers. Timelines where ultimately you still hold shame, even if it's unconscious in your fields, about that aspect of yourself. The Scorpio energy challenges us to go within and to reclaim and to love and accept and to bring home that part of self, because until we go deep into the scorpion nature, you know, that part of ourselves that we have to tame, but it's still a part of us, you know, because we all have the ability to do the darkest things. It's not that we don't have the ability, it's that we choose not to. You know, the Scorpio energy challenges us to see that part of ourselves, but to own it and to love it and accept it and to nurture it, because it's only by going there that we rise into the Phoenix energy. And the Phoenix energy is like where your angelic DNA can be activated. It's where, like, it's seraphic DNA. It's your superhuman, supernatural energy. It can't be, and I say this to people often, like Scorpio energy shows us this, but so does, you know, Aquarian energy. When you are here in a body on earth, you cannot reclaim your divinity on earth until you first establish and accept your humanity. And that's the Aquarian energy, but we get there by way of the Scorpio, where Scorpio calls us into the most shaming of the things that have caused us the deepest levels of shame, because shame is the lowest energy on the vibrational scale. Scorpio beckons us there to not to further shame us, but so that we can reclaim ourselves from those narratives. We can reclaim every lost part of our souls back from those experiences and back from, you know, the momentum that energy then began to take on and create in our realities, that then caused us to make decisions from the place of rejecting that part of self as opposed to loving it. You see, many of us end up in abusive dynamics and situations because we're so desperately wanting people to love us when we reject ourselves. And that doesn't make it okay, but it is energy is energy, and it don't lie. It is a reflection of that. When we cannot fully claim back and love all aspects of self, then we really can't truly expect somebody else to do that for us either. You know, and that's where the Scorpio energy challenges us to go deep and to let go of all of those narratives that have kept us out from those narratives, that conditioning, that programming that has kept us out of taking back that part of self, but it's deeper than that. The Scorpio energy helps us to access the lowest parts of ourselves in order for us also, 11:11 on my clock, in order for us also to rise again and to make contact with the highest expression of our divine truth, which we equally find difficult to grasp. We find it really difficult to go into the lowest places, a lot of us, and to dance with those shadow, to dance with that aspect of our shadow energy. We find it difficult, but we also find it really difficult to connect with the fullness of who we actually are. And partly that's because we've been told through these matrix programs that the truth of who we are is a fantasy, it's an illusion, it's not possible. You can't fly. Oh, really? Because in dream state, I saw you bind my wings. Come again? You can't fly. Oh, really? No, I can't fly because you programmed me into thinking that, and then you binded my wings also on the astral. But let me at them again. Let me at my wings, and let me at my divine programming and divine settings that has reminded me of the fact that not only can I fly, but I do. They don't want you going there. But Scorpio will take you there if you let it. But it's going to take you there first by it takes us down to go up. There's something here with that in this shallow grave card too, because even here, you see she's got a skeleton. She's like sleeping with a skeleton, and then there are butterflies. There's someone who doesn't like that you have risen up from the grave that they set for you. And for many of you, the very grave that they tried to put you in energetically is the one that they're laying in alone. There's someone here who for the longest time was controlling your narrative in order to keep you, to keep control over your ability to access your gifts. That doesn't like the fact that you're rising, and doesn't like the fact that through this nodal shift, through this eclipse window, through this scorpionic energy, you have the ability to bust out of all of what it is they've tried to do. Because that's what I'm really feeling. Because remember, eclipse energies are here to eclipse things out that stop you from living in alignment divinely, that stop you from accessing the ability to walk in your north node. And when you're dealing with characters that have been doing that, and you are doing the healing work to rise and to reclaim all aspects of self, because this is how they keep you stuck and under their control, is by stopping you from being able to heal and reclaim all those parts of self, by making you ashamed. And that's the energy I was picking up. Somebody wants to keep you from reclaiming a part of your shadow that's going to actually open you up again to your supernatural abilities. But they've been doing this forever. Like I said, this is family shit. I feel it. I feel it. This is like people who've been doing this from the time you were born. For certain, especially for certain groups. So we have stifled, bored, and stuck. Violet Duchess, number 18, which of course is the moon. This is like this energy of them wanting you engaging in struggle. They want you having a struggle mentality, like life is always going to be a struggle. This is why, remember I was saying in the beginning, there was this like minor things in order to get like inconveniences that pile up in order to like alter your perspective. This is part of it too. It's supposed to get you stuck in struggle, constantly struggling against these things that they cast against you, all the while thinking that this is your reality. It's an illusion, because if you check in within yourself, your guidance shows you that's not the case. And this is what I've been noticing a lot in this round of fuckery, is that for me at least, once upon a time, I had a lot of fear, even though I knew that, I knew that things weren't 100% kosher that I was seeing, and I could trust my intuition. Something about my internal energies were still aligning with the outside fuckery. And what was really connecting it was the fear. And this time around, what I'm noticing is that it's more from a state of observation. And that doesn't mean that there's never any fear, but it does mean that for me, the way I'm experiencing it very differently. It is like watching it it's like observing, being in observational mode. And yeah, even as things occur in the physical, still knowing, oh, this is just part of how this has to play out. Energies leave how they came in. So when this stuff comes back, it's just like, okay, well, it has to leave the way I let it in. And I have to this time say, piss off. This is my turn to tell it to fuck off, kind of thing. But we have Strange Valentine. Love is strange. This is also supposed to make you feel unlovable. But it's also from this place of replaying energies from childhood where you were made to feel this way. It's supposed to bring it back to life. I've been getting a lot of that, like that shame, solar plexus, root chakra energy. The root chakra is the seat of a lot of like family and collective traditions that have built up these energies of shame, of how we shame ourselves and one another. But the solar plexus is how we personally hold and experience it on an emotional level. And the solar plexus energy, and I've talked about this in other videos, it's programmed by our parents, and then our interactions with if you have siblings, your family dynamic and family energy system is what programs your solar plexus settings, those formative situations that build your emotional resonance and your emotional experience that occur predominantly in the home. Okay, so again, this is somebody who has programmed you emotionally into loveless states that wants you to once again buy the lie that is what is going to be your reality. I was also picking up on, I already mentioned this, didn't I? Oh, yes, this is what I was saying before. This energy of missing someone all of a sudden who you have closed the door on. And for some of you, this is like that twin flame bullshit. Or, it could be romance, it could be friendship. Or for some of you, that's what it's going to be. Okay? And while I will never tell anyone how to live their lives when it comes to this, just be aware to be very discerning in these energies, because there's a lot of wanting to get people to make decisions from a place of instability. And recognize and realize that as we go through these portals, we're all in a state of instability because we're all going through calibration. And these beings love to jump on the opportunity to fuck with us in that way. So my advice that I give you, that I give myself through these energies and other clients, is wait for the dust to settle. Wait for the energy to stabilize a little bit before you make decisions that you don't have enough clarity on and you don't feel like 100% secure or right in. In other words, if you feel like you are being rushed to do something, pay attention to that. And I'm not talking about like your day-to-day, like the necessary decisions you have to make day to day, but I'm talking about more on a personal level, spiritual level. One thing I know, and this is how I measure how I make decisions that are apparently for my own spiritual growth, my guides will never rush me. They won't rush me. They may tell me something, but they will give me the time and the space I need in order for my energy to accept what it is they're showing me so I can make a decision from a place of peace. That's how true benevolent guides who want you to rise into your truth are going to work, because energetically speaking, whatever you make a decision from is where that energy will grow from. If you make it from fear, you're opening up the door to more fear. If you're making the decision from guilt, you're opening up the door to more guilt. If you make it from shame, you're opening up the door to more shaming narratives and possibilities. But if you make the decision from a place of peace and acceptance, then you're opening the door to things that are going to usher in more things that secure you in your own energy and equilibrium. So when you feel like you have to make a decision, especially because you've been getting some divine guidance and it feels rushed, pay attention and ask yourself, is that really how my guides would work with me? The ones who love you unconditionally and are benevolent. Because you might find that a lot of the programming around love that you learn through the Matrix is how the lens through which you see your guides, or even religious programming. Right. Just as I moved the Love is Strange card, what's this? Guidance. But where will it lead you? There's this energy of people trying to whip up these emotional storms and to get us into a tizzy, and I ain't here for it. I ain't here for it. You know, I clocked it and I said, go fuck yourself. Or yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. Don't nobody got time for that. Let me go into my karmic deck and see. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Ain't nobody got time for that. An army of angels. This angelic energy has been coming in strong. Some of you are being called to work deeper with the resonance of angels. And the reason why they might be coming to you or into your fields is because it's time for you to unlock certain angelic DNA. And I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to say it again because it's been coming up. You know, even the fact that I shared that wing analogy with you, and that was the word they gave me about accessing your supernatural gifts through the phoenix energy of Scorpio. They said seraphic. And I have been seeing visions. I don't know if any of you know the book of Isaiah when it speaks about the seraphim and the angels that surround the throne of God. And I use, the Bible loosely because we know it's tampered with, we know it's fucked with, but we also, I know that there is always value to be taken from these things either way, because they're always showing you everything. Everything is hidden in plain sight. But anyway, if you read the passage in Isaiah like that talks about that, it tells you what the angels look like. And there are people who have done like depictions of them. And, you know, there are even videos on YouTube I saw many years ago. And one thing that they mention is that they have many eyes. And I'm mentioning that because I had a vision a few days ago. All of a sudden, I was doing one of my articles for my Substack, and I was writing and I was channeling, and all of a sudden I got hit with a vision. And what I was channeling at the time was my guides were showing me how this window through Scorpio, the Scorpio window is what connects us back with our eternal truth. It connects us back with our supernatural reality. That's why the energy of Scorpio is that of dying to rise again. The judgment energy of the tarot. That's why it's there. It's because we have the ability to die to the matrix lie and rise into our divine resonance. And we get to do it on the earth planes. Okay? And of course, they don't want you to know that. This is why the Scorpio energy, this is why their spells and their rituals reach such an all-time peak during this like Halloween window. It's to do with the death energy, is very true, but it's so much deeper than that. It's because this is literally a portal into your ability to connect with your supernatural gifts. That's why they want to. This is why even at this time they be messing with, your straw men. Rituals around that. Sacrificing rituals around that. And this is exactly why they need you asleep, so they can continue to do that shit. There's so many layers. There's so many reasons why they enact this. There's so many reasons why they bring on your family members through these orders and associations in order to target you too. There's so many angles to this. But back to the vision, I saw someone's angelic body lighting up. I saw their eyes opening. Some of you have angelic energy where you think the only eyes you have are your human physical eyes and maybe your third eye, but really you're covered in them. You're covered in eyes, energetically speaking, that have been sealed shut. And for some of you, through this Scorpio portal, all of those eyes want to open. I saw it. I know it might sound crazy. I know it might sound out there, but I'm just sharing with you the vision I saw. That's what I saw. Okay, so when I say that the angelic DNA upgrades are so real and possible, not only because of the Scorpio energy, but the eclipse energy, and then what's happening with all of the solar flares and all this other stuff, and then you healing too. This is why there's an army of angels not only surrounding you. I hope that didn't fucking, the tracking didn't fall off, but if it did, my apologies, but I don't stop. Army of angels. This is why it's out here. And so is sex magic. I don't know if you can see that. So is sex magic. So it gives you a bit of a clue as to, some of the shisty, shady shit that they're up to right now. And they're always up to this shit. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, really. It's just like we're exploring and seeing, well, they're doing the same kind of stuff, but what is their objective and how is it playing out for me right around now? So, hiding and cloaking, invisibility spells, and shape-shifting. So another thing I've been noticing is that these beings that once upon a time had control of you and had access to you physically, because they no longer have that, they're still trying to cast these energies out. And when they cast these energies out, the way energy works is it will attach to whatever it can to accomplish its goal. So if you no longer have any access with these beings who were emotionally programming you and fucking around with your solar plexus settings and programming you into deep states of shame, lovelessness, and etc., and you know they no longer have access to you, and neither do their little flying monkeys and the other beings who were maybe even unconsciously channeling that energy towards you because of the the energetic connection, and maybe some of them were purposely using these people, consciously or unconsciously, it doesn't matter. That's not what's important right now. The point is, if you've removed yourself, then whoever it is that is around you will be the ones that they target to use. So for some of you, you're so hermited that you don't have people in your life right now, and maybe you've gotten rid of all social media on a personal level, but you're still on social media, but with none of those beings. All of a sudden, you'll see those energies trying to get to you through strangers or when you're out and about. And the way you'll know, and I've talked about this before, is that these beings will try to attack certain parts of you that trigger childhood wounds. And it won't make any sense because it's like you just minding your business. Didn't have to go there, kind of thing. So that's what I'm getting with the hiding and the cloaking. It's invisibility spells and shape-shifting. And another thing I've been seeing also is I've been seeing a lot of shadow beings, 2333 on my clock. A lot of shadow beings. You know those shadow energies that, have you ever seen them fly? That was the first thing I actually ever began to see when my eyes began to open to the spiritual realm. And I see them around people and places where they're messing around with dark energies. They have these shadow energies that follow them, and they jump. Sometimes you'll only see them from the corner of your eye. And I've been seeing them. I've been seeing them around certain people. I've been seeing them around certain people's homes. I've been seeing them in just locations as I walk around. And it's quite amazing because it's like, wow, these energies, these shadow energies, really, they're just flying and they're jumping right now. I'll go into the... I didn't see that. Shunning and repulsion energy. That's part of the hiding and cloaking. So shunning and repulsion energies, that's when they want people to not accept you. This is when they want to feed the narrative and the spell that you are not lovable, or that you are not worthy of being celebrated. You're not worthy of being valued. That's another thing, okay? So, and that again is solar plexus, emotional programming that, if this is your reading, again, I'm telling you, this is like family, and they will do this to you in a family to kind of make you feel isolated and not wanting to hear you, rejecting what it is you have to say, a myriad of ways that this energy will play out. And the whole point is to make you feel unworthy. And it's to, again, program you into deep states of shame, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Some people, it's just their wounded nature to do this. And some people, this woundedness has been utilized and exploited for the purpose of getting you into these states to, take it as it resonates. But the shunning and the repulsion energy is to reconnect you with this energy of shame, of rejecting yourself because other beings are rejecting you. Art and antiques is at the bottom, opening portals. I have been getting that energy of somebody working with artifacts for sure. I haven't really gone into exploring it. I don't think I want to do it right now. But yes, some of you, this person might have been working with an artifact and is still. And when I say an artifact, like some of you, they've been working with artifacts from the time you were a kid. Family heirlooms just heard family heirlooms. Accident energies, I've already kind of talked about that, those energies of annoyance, but also accident and misfortune energies. If you found that you've been a lot more clumsy, clear that. That's not you. At the bottom of the deck, we do have Jupiter magic. So the Jupiter magic is all about blocking your ability to live truthfully and to walk in your truth and to move forward. The Jupiter energy is connected to Sagittarius, which is to do with the 144 frequency, and it is to do with angelic DNA also. So again, that's further, confirmation of what I was saying, but there was something else that was coming through also. The Jupiter energy is also what allows you to begin to travel, and not travel just physically. It's what allows you to begin to receive the activations you need to get online and begin to learn how you work as an intergalactic, supernatural, multidimensional being. The Jupiter energy is also what helps you rise into your spiritual authority. At the bottom of the deck, we do have while you were sleeping. There has definitely been a lot of dream fuckery. What I was picking up on, I don't want to make this too long, was what my guides were calling dream path working, where there were beings who were consciously trying to take people to places in dreams and then leaving them where it is that they're not supposed to be. So for example, if you're dreaming and you're supposed to go somewhere with someone and you never make it there, and you just keep on going around kind of in circles, this person is leading you. It's another person telling you that you're getting somewhere. It could be this person I'm telling you about, or this person in your family. It could be them, or it could be, again, cloaking energies are real here. Another one is telling you that they're taking you somewhere, but then taking you somewhere completely different. And the whole point of it is to get you in your dream state, aroused into a state of fear and confusion, so you then wake up and drag that with you into real time. So if you've been dealing with that kind of energy, make sure that you're securing yourself before you go to sleep, but also make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you're clearing that energy. And pretty much for some of you, the clearance of that energy is simply just going to be affirming your truth and recognizing and realizing, oh, that's what you tried to do. You're trying to hitchhike your way. There's a lot of hitchhiking energy. Maybe that's why I was seeing the flying shadows. A lot of hitchhiking energy right now. A lot of hitchhiking. And kind of like, yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. We have Venusian magic at the bottom. I'm not going to go too much deeper into these cards, but the Venusian magic has been showing up. Again, it's a sex magic, but it's also that energy of getting you to reject yourself. So for those of you who've had issues with self-image, especially self-image born of shaming energies through these family dynamics, there's a lot of wanting to reawaken that, to make you uncertain, to make you insecure, to make you feel like other people don't want you, blah, 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 and the story continues. It's all about, at the end of the day, getting you into these states of feeling rejected, rejecting yourself, opening up those old doorways where you once upon a time may have dwelled in that place, and getting you back there, but getting you to do it for yourself this time through the constant onslaught of the casting of these energies at every turn. These spells that they do against you, they work in layers and they hit different angles, because a lot of the time they're not only working alone. Not if you're a chosen one and you're a targeted individual. You have people who are working in your families oftentimes, but they're connected to many beings that are doing this shit. Okay, so yes. Some of you are going to want to work with stones that connect you to higher consciousness, especially angelic consciousness. So things like celestite, angelite, seraphonite. Those are the ones that are coming at the top of my head right now. Celestite, angelite, seraphonite. Full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. New moon in Taurus, I'm loving this. Prosperity lies ahead. Between eclipses always will affect the energy of the next 6-month cycle until the next eclipse window. They have a longer lasting effect, of course, but the next 6 months is when this energy will begin to unroll. So whenever you're stepping into an eclipse or into any planetary energy, the energy is there, but it's not going to hit you materially instantly. I mean, it does sometimes, but very rarely it does. What it's doing is it's calibrating your energy fields for what is to come through the activation of that energy or that portal. So with eclipse energy, it tends to be, a 6-month process of what occurs through the eclipse windows unfolding. And again, it goes longer than that, but you get what I'm saying. So the new moon in Taurus is going to be next year, and it probably is going to be right. It's going to be the first, I'm guessing, I don't know if this is 100% right, but given what I know, I believe the new moon in Taurus next year will be the first new moon after the eclipse window, because the eclipses will occur through the full moon in Aries, the full moon in Libra and the new moon in Aries. I believe next year that should be the case. So there is the possibility for whoever this is, and this is what these beings don't want. Prosperity lies ahead with the new moon in Taurus. This is deeper than money. This is the access to the resources that have been being fought over. This is the access to the resources that are ultimately going to tap you into all forms of resources, including material ones. This is what this energy is fighting against, but 11:44 my clock, this is also what the divine is calibrating and getting you ready for. So we have a full moon in Aries and a full moon in Aquarius, and this is showing me a few things. Full moons speak about energies that are being cleared out of the way. Full moon in Aries energy is all about clearing those things that have tried to be God over you. Okay? Because until you come back into being God over self, whoever is God over you is who is lording themselves over your resources, the resources of your Taurus energy field. So what is occurring through this is you are getting back your position of Godhead, because you didn't know who you were, and your resources have been being divvied out all over the place by these beings who have been manipulating you and your energy to play God over you. And so the full moon in Aries, this eclipse energy is helping you to reclaim that part and to push that out. And that's for all of us, to varying degrees, because that's exactly what the North Node in Aries is assisting also. And that's why these eclipse energies are also doing this. And the full moon in Aries that occurred right before the first eclipse of the season that's why it was so, it was so intense. Like the full moon in Aries, full moon in Pisces, always intense energies. But this year, that full moon in Aries, that brought in some fire. And that was like the declaration of the arrival of Aries in those nodes. I think it happened not too far out of the equinox. So yeah. So again, so those of you who've been feeling that energy of instability that's been occurring in your reality since the equinox, it's the grand recalibration so you can kick some of these hitchhikers out. Excuse me. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius, right? The Aquarian energy, we are in the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is about taking back our position as being of service to humanity. For many of you, you are guardians of Gaia. You are the ones who are here to reclaim what's been stolen, not only from yourself but from her. And that is what this 11th house energy is actually about. The 1111, all of that. It's about those of us who have been called to be of service to the collective and to the earth, because that's part of our mission. That's what we came here for. And so this energy is also helping you to rise into your age of Aquarius position. And for some of you, this energy is going to catapult you into it's going to catapult you into, it's like it's going to catapult you into being seen. It's going to catapult you into being seen. Show the world the real you. It's going to, like, this eclipse window for some of you, these beings with this, like, this rejection, repulsion spells, there's energies here of also, like, trying to keep you invisible, and first invisible to self. And when I say invisible, I'm talking about invisible to self in terms of who you actually are. That's the whole point of what it was they were trying to do, because they know that if they could do that, that you would also begin to create that reality for yourself. Okay, so if they can make you feel as if you're not important, if they can make you feel as if you're invisible to the world, or you should be, then that's what you would begin to create for yourself, because that's the nature of the power of who you are and how your energy field works. And there's something about this energy being blown out of the waters. And so where you've been being purposely hidden, it will no longer be the case. And first and foremost, it will no longer be the case that you can hide from yourself anymore, meaning that there will be no more not being able to connect and to own and accept the grandiosity of who you are as a multidimensional being. And as you do that for yourself, that's when the shift has to occur in your external reality too. Okay, so I think I'm going to end there. I hope that this reading was helpful and insightful. I know that I like to break all of this up with readings now too, and so I probably will do a few more. I feel a little bit better now that I've shared this one with you. Like I've shared this channel with you and this channeled message. So I don't know, maybe I'll go into my downloads now and just do more readings off of that, because there's just a lot coming through at this time. And sometimes when so much comes through at once, it becomes a little bit overwhelming, and I'm still healing. We're all still healing. And for me, I'm still getting over fight or flight stuff. And so sometimes I fall into freeze mode when things become too much for me, and I'm still working through that. I'm doing my own kind of somatic healing to get past that. But yeah, so I need to let this flow. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I'm sending you guys so much love. For all information about me and to work with me, you can find that on my website, and that will be in the description box below. To join me over on Substack, I will put the link below. Also, thank you guys, those of you who've shown so much support already for my my writing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to those haters, I see you, I feel you, and I don't give a fuck. I just would hope that that energy that you try to begrudgingly hold back from celebrating other beings, that it wouldn't cast such a huge shadow on you, because if you can escape from that shadow that is actually you're under and that you're trying to cast upon others, you will, you know, taste freedom too. And a lot of this has to do also with some of you are here to do these things, and these spells have you afraid, and it's time to stop being afraid, and it's time to start living your life on your own terms and get out of regret. This is the energy of the Five of Cups we're in right now. There's a lot of regret energies also flying, and those work in a myriad of ways, but not to go off too much on a tangent, but I see the energies everywhere. I can't avoid them. And so for those of you who drink too much haterade, I don't know what to tell you, switch to water, coconut water perhaps. Anyway, stay fabulous. I will see you guys again soon. I'm sending you love, joy, peace, patience, focus, clarity, more joy, more peace, more love, every beautiful thing that is divinely your birthright and that you gain perpetual access to as you claim that as your truth and you walk in that truth and you therefore access it. I will see you guys again soon. Until next time, be well.